Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Drafty Sports Pro Basketball 2020, episode number 32. We just came out of a major trade. We're a few days away from the trade deadline, but with that trade done, I'm not going to delve into the market anymore. We are going to get on with the gameplay, with the series, and see what happens. The big thing is, what has this done to the coaching staff? What is their idea of our sub-matrix? So as we get into the depth chart here, Fox and Walker, no doubt about it, 40-minute guys, okay. But here's new man Josh Richardson, 38 minutes right off the bat. Other than a couple extra minutes in the second quarter, a little bit longer break, he is consistently in that game, in that first unit. What a difference this is going to make for us, because now you've got Bagley, who's playing a little bit at center. So Cauley Stein is only at 36 minutes, which is, I think, a good number for a three-star guy like him. But that means Barnes, right? Out of the first team, into the second team, and he's that only one who's getting sixth-man type minutes as he's splitting his time at that power forward when Bagley is out, and then coming in to that lineup, he's got those couple minutes at small forward, the extra minutes that Richardson is out, and it just works. Thompson, Beasley, 8 minutes apiece. Holmes right now getting the 6 minutes because Bull is out injured. When he comes back healthy, you would expect that that'll flip, and Bull might get more than 6 minutes. If he gets about 12, maybe 14 minutes, even in just 10, that'll take a little bit of the stress off Bagley, Cauley Stein, kind of back those two off a little bit. I think that could work out perfectly. This is finally starting to shape up like a pretty decent lineup, I think. We'll see. Even without Richardson, we're already 29 and 16. How will this team do going forward? Well, let's find out. Let's go ahead and push. I'm not going to watch a game yet, but we will definitely watch a game. I'd like to see this team in action, but let's give them a little bit of time to adjust anyway. So we're going to sim a week. It opens with a loss. That's not a great start for those guys, especially when we were 70% favorites. But we do bounce back with a win, 30 and 17 now. Walker had 29, Fox had 19. Whoa, big trade deadline moves. Oh, another loss to Philadelphia. Tough one on the road. They were definitely one of the other better teams out there. Oof, tight victory on the road at New Orleans, and that's another good team. Two and 2 through the first 4 games played, but 3 of those were road games. I think I'll take that anytime. Okay. Hello, Brandon Craig from Oregon. Oh, come on. I hate how it just always does this. And the response is always the same. Right? It's negative or negative or negative. There is nothing positive that comes from any of these options. And they are the same every time. Every time. There's no randomness about it. It's just going to do the same thing no matter what. And every single choice brings about some form of a negative. As we lose a close one to Oklahoma City, 31 and 19. Our 4th road game out of 5. Haven't even seen Richardson make his way into the top 3 listed, so he's There you go. There's first time, 9 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals. I like the steals part. It was in a losing effort. A lot of road games over this stretch. Hello, slam dunk contest. 3-point contest. Curry with the winner there. All right, let's go back one day. Rookies beat the sophomores. Dang, that doesn't happen very often. No. Thompson put in a solid performance off the bench for the sophomores. 11 minutes, 4 for 5 shooting, 3 for 3 beyond the arc, 11 points. Ended up the leading scorer off the bench anyway for the sophomores team. We saw that Curry won. There it is. Bobby Clausen ended up winning the dunk competition. Alright, so at this stage in time, let's go league-wide. You've got the Knicks at 37-18. Pelicans are 38-21. Hawks, Mavericks, the Warriors, the Clippers. And there we are at 33-20. Just 4-6 in the last 10. But so many of those were road games. You can see we're 21-6 at home, but 12-14 on the road. I think if we're going to really contend, we're going to have to be a bit better than that. I mean, like the Clippers above us at 17-13. We need to be somewhere a little closer to that level if we're going to get deep playoff runs and be contenders for a championship. But regardless, we are very much an improved team that I think is finally good enough to probably get beyond the first round. We've still got almost 30 games to go in the season here at the All-Star break. And let's see, anything else I want to check in on? We can see where the team stands at this point at the All-Star break. Third in points per game, 18th in assists, which kind of makes sense. We don't have a backup point guard, so that number's a little bit lower. Rebounds is fourth. That's a big improvement because I have not seen us anywhere near the top of that category. It's the Hawks that are the leading scoring team and the leading rebounding team. Defense is only 25th, but there's a big difference between the scoring and defense. We just have a fast-paced offense, which does open the defense up a little bit, opens the game up. Blocks were 17th. Steals are 5th. We're getting 10 a game. That's nice. Field goal percentage is top half, but we are leading in the three-point percentage. That is our offense. That is the modern offense, so it does fit. I wish we shot from the free throw line a bit better, though. But offensive rating, second overall with a 112.3. Defensive rating, middle of the league, 108. Okay. But the net rating, fifth, 4.2. Pretty solid. But it is the Hawks that are the team to beat. Western All-Stars crush Eastern All-Stars, and it was Damian Lillard who was at the top of the sheet, it looked like. Gets the start, 24 points for him. And yes, he was the leading scorer. Only just, but 10 for 12, 4 for 5 from 3, 8 assists for Lillard. Harden, you got Ayton, George, and Davis are your starters. Zion, Hachimura, Vucevic and Irving and Barrett in the East. Towns, Leonard, Giannis. Oh, that's right. Milwaukee moved to the West. That's why they're struggling. Russell, Booker, Mitchell, and Porzingis. So we didn't actually get anyone in. We've got this amazing record, and we didn't even have one team make the All-Star game. That's a little bit of an insult that we are that good and couldn't even get one player onto the roster. But it also says a lot about how balanced we are. We're not led by superstars, not yet anyway. We've just got a lot of really good players. All right, another week. I have a message. Tempted to check it. There we go. Beat the Clippers 34-20 now. Walker with 22 points. I was a little surprised he didn't get in. Problem with staff. Richard, just want to let you know I'm not very happy with my relationship with the team staff here. I know there's been some rough patches, but maybe we need to have a talk about things and work them out. Considering nobody else has ever had an issue, and how many seasons are we into this thing? And the new guy who just came to town less than a month ago has an issue with the staff and nobody else seems to, I'm going to probably blame you. Wouldn't you think that would make sense? Back to the dashboard for a moment. You can see just how heavily we are favored. I mean, 90% chance of winning against Utah. We've got everyone back to healthy, so I am curious now where Bull fits into the lineup. Bull is getting, it's only 6 minutes at center, actually, so nothing changed here. Nothing. It's just he got the minutes instead of Richaun Holmes. Surprising that Bull's only getting 6. And that it didn't change anything else, and that, Cauley Stein is still getting 36. I thought for sure he would drop down at least 2 to 4 minutes. But, okay. Not the coach, just the manager. Go ahead and take a look at the box score we haven't seen for a little while anyway. A full breakdown of how our team is doing in games. Very comfortable win. So when we're going up against a team that we're heavily favored against, we are running away with it. Bagley had 21 points, 9 for 15 shooting, 13 rebounds. Nice double-double for him. Richardson, 10 points, kind of playing the role player thing. He's got 7 rebounds. He did have 3 turnovers. That's not good. We've seen his name stat line for steals multiple times. I'm trying to remember kind of what his ratings are, as he is just about maxed out. Ball handling, passing, scoring all have potential to be a bit higher. Defense, I thought he was a little bit higher than that. It's not bad. He'll get some steals, not a ton. Okay, so how has he been for us so far this year? It's been 10 games since he came over. His minutes are about the same as what they were over there. His scoring is down slightly, but he's still consistently kind of doing the same. So he's doing about the same he was before, which for us is an upgrade at the position, and especially relegating Barnes to the role he should be in. We're already seeing him excel in that role instead of being mediocre as a starter. So Barnes, Thompson in the second unit, really strong for us. And you can definitely see there's that second unit. All of them positive, plus minus. And I mean, you look at that. Second quarter is kind of close, but otherwise, third quarter a little bit favoring Utah, but otherwise comfortable. First, fourth, running away with it when it counts. Another message. What's up? Of course. Here we go again. Wah wah. Okay, difficult road game at our very strong Mavericks team, who are 2 games above us. Almost get the win, but not enough. Doncic, 36 points. I don't think there's necessarily been any surprises. We haven't had the best record of late, but so much of it has been road games, and so many of those road games have been against the best teams in the league. We've not been playing our road games against bottom feeders recently at all. Brooklyn, 34-33. I mean, that's a 500 team. That's about the worst record we've seen on those road games of late. We've won some of them, but nowhere near enough. We're taking care of business at home, and it's the home games recently that have been against the bottom feeders. So our schedule is a little bit unbalanced, which we've already noted that the schedule in its entirety is unbalanced at this point, but we are into March now. Let's check those key dates. What do we have coming up? Nothing until playoffs. And at this rate, we might get there in this episode. Still got enough time. It's amazing that you could take the best player in the league and take his entire team and move them to the Western Conference, and suddenly they've got 19 wins. So here's another home game against just about 500 team, and actually they're about the same on the road as they are at home, so it's certainly not a given, but we win by 22 points. So at home against mid-level or below, we're just crushing it. We just can't seem to catch a break on the road here of late. Another road game and another top team. Again, we haven't played, like I said, any bottom feeders in a long, long time on the road. And we've played a lot of road games recently, so record just hasn't been that great. Right, 22. In fact, we've only seen, maybe 2 road wins this episode. So our record's been actually quite pitiful. But we're close. We're in every game, but we lose by 5 points or 6 points or 2 points. It's like every game's less than a 10-point loss against a really good team on the road. But it's still a loss. And a loss is a loss, whether you lose by 50 or whether you lose... See, we play a team that's middle of the road in Cleveland and crush them on the road. Bagley has suffered an injury in that game. That's gonna hurt. Now we're at home against a mid-level team, but we are without Bagley, it would seem. Let's start with Dashboard and see how he's doing. Eight days with a mild concussion. Really use that rebounding to develop in this next season or so. Well, yeah, that's going to change things a little bit. How is the depth chart looking now for the next week? Barnes straight into the lineup. He's got 38 minutes. And what's picking up? Holmes is picking up 10 minutes. Bull picked up a few minutes. He's gone from 6 to 12. Those were Bagley minutes that he picked up. It's a little bit of an iffy move, if you ask me. But it kind of makes sense. Cauley-Stein is very much a center and not somewhere else. Likewise, so is Bull, but who says Holmes can play power forward? We still get the win at home, where we've been unbeatable of late. But we can't seem to beat anyone, let alone a Bull, on the road. Sure, we haven't even played the Bulls of late. They would be the kind of team I'd like to play on the road, but they've got 20 wins at home. 19 anyway. Hawks. Oh, wow, that was a close game. They are really good. Walker with 37. We did that without Bagley, so definitely getting down to it. It's pretty late season here. We're going to get an update on the standings. Got the Nuggets at home. Let's see where we are at now. Go by conference. So you got the Knicks half game ahead of the Pelicans, so it's still really tight there. With the Hawks 1.5 games back, that loss actually just hurt them quite a bit. They're 4-6. I think they were on top, but 2 straight losses have knocked them down to third place currently. Grizzlies, the Heat, the Sixers, Pacers, and the Nets. Talk about a tight battle, and we're having issues with the games behind, but Cavs are 2 wins out of it. Same on losses though. Wizards, Pistons, Hornets. Hornets are just about close enough to still be in it. But you definitely say that the Celtics, Bulls, Raptors, and Magic are probably a little too far back. In the West, it's the Mavericks. And currently, we are into second place, but it's very close. The next 3 teams, we are all on the same number of wins. It's the number of losses that are a little bit different. We are 40-24. The Lakers have 25 losses. Clippers have 27. The Jazz have 27 as well, but they've got 38 wins. The Warriors have 40 wins, but 30 losses, so they've played 6 games more than we have at this point. The Blazers, 36-29, and then the Thunder, really the first team to actually drop off a little bit at 36-31. Maybe the Blazers. Arguably, they're close. They're exactly 2 games behind the Jazz, 2 spots ahead of them. And then we're at 500 with the T-Wolves. The Suns, basically. And then it starts to drop off to the Nuggets, Aces, Rockets, Spurs, the Bucks, and the Grizzlies. So right now, potentially a 2 seed, which as things stand, and they won't stay this way, obviously, but as they stand, with 18 games to play, it is us versus the Blazers in the first round. What a matchup that would be. $96-88. We get the win again. Cauley-Stein with 12 and 12, double-double. And we head on the road against another strong team. Every single road game, every one of them, have been against teams that are at least 10 games over 500. This whole episode. I mean, this is like 10 straight road games against a top 8 team. And we finally get a road win. Leonard had 44 points, but it wasn't enough to overcome the team effort that we're able to produce. Okay, how's that depth chart looking now? Walker picking up a couple minutes at small forward. He's playing 40. Richardson 38. Barnes is back in the lineup, but at 38. Collie-Stein at 36. Bull is keeping quality minutes. He's got 16 now. Thompson getting 10. I do like this lineup much better. Bagley's still out. And Pingali is out now. 3 more days. And Pingali's got a sore hand. He must have gotten that giving a high five to his teammates, because he gets nothing but garbage minutes. And I don't think there was garbage time in that last game or two. Alright. Hey, here you go. We finally have an away game against a team who is below 500. Not far. I kind of made a crack on the Bulls. So let's watch a road game that is a difficult yet winnable road game and see how we do. We were a few days away from Bagley coming back, and he's not back yet. So it's still Barnes in the starting lineup. Let's see how much better off we are with Richardson here. Barnes. Bagley goes down, and Barnes is able to just step in and play his natural position. Alright, if I don't tweak that, if I don't open this, it's gonna be all wonky at the first. Alright, so quick start, 5-2, first couple minutes, and Barnes has a 3. See, there you go. I think it's a little easier to be a stretch 4 and get an open look at 3 than it is when you're a 4 playing the 3. Got a little cold here. One more score was Walker's 3. His first field goal attempt. These fouls are already 4-0. That's the main thing, keeping them in. Two-point game here in early days. We're just 8 of 19 on shooting at the moment. +1 on rebounds. +1 turnovers. Oh, nice putback. Like an offensive rebound and possibly a dunk there. We had the first quarter up 27-22. We struggled, I think, shooting primarily in that quarter. We were just, I think we were 2 for 10 or 3 for 11 at the break beyond the arc. And obviously that's one of the main staples in our team's diet on offense. Chicago definitely staying close here in the second quarter. And again, a lot of that coming down to we're just not shooting terribly well. But you can see Walker starting to catch fire a little bit. He's up to 4 for 8 now and 12 points. Most of his makes have been threes. Willie Cauley-Stein, 5 for 7 with 11 points. He's already got 8 rebounds as well. So Cauley-Stein, early standout in this one. But again, miss 3. Just 4 for 19, 21% beyond the arc, even though we're the best shooting team in the league from 3. And meanwhile, Chicago, a moment ago anyway, was 41% from the field beyond the arc. That seems to be the difference in this game and why we have just a 1-point lead at half. So, end of the third quarter here. Let's see what can we do. 55-55. Chicago, quick out of the box, coming out of the locker room, and defense played well through that sequence, and we couldn't score even from close range. We haven't scored in a while. There we go. Finally, we get a 2, but then we give up back-to-back buckets. Back-to-back-to-back. 3 in a row for Chicago. At least they were all 2-pointers, but we trail by 9. We've been ice cold here in the third. We've scored, twice? We can't even make free throws. That was 1 for 3. We've scored 7 points in the entire third quarter with just 2 minutes to go. Another miss. Ice cold. Ooh, a dunk. Hey, we finally got to 10 points in the third quarter. 12 points in the final second. Fourth quarter, and we trailed by 16. We open with a 3. And a 2. Those 5 points, 7 points in 3 possessions is already half of what we had the whole third quarter. Another 3 there, and we've nearly equaled. So can we overcome an absolute disastrous third quarter and come back? We're down 11 with 8 to play. It's still a winnable game, but this is going to be really tough. That 3 there by Chicago was... Ouch! I think we just got called for a technical. They had 3 points. We're still 26% from 3, and they're still 38%, so that's still really hurting. We both have 34 attempts, and they've made 4 more than we have. That's 12 points. Turnovers is a -1. Rebounds is a -2. Free throws, they are 80%. And it's the third quarter. We should have won this game, but the third quarter, where the offense just went ice cold, ended up equaling the loss. That 3 at the end hurts a little bit because it was 9 points until that moment, but we lose 109-97. Walker does score 33 points, but outside of him, there wasn't much offensive production. Cauley-Stein was really hot for a short period of time in the second, but then never scored another field goal. He didn't have a single field goal in the second half. 29-12 in the third. We won the rest of the game. In the second quarter, we lost by 4 points, but the combination of those 3 quarters where they were balanced, that was all us. But that third quarter was horrendous. And that's our problem. We just can't seem to get anywhere on the road. I mean, we've had 3 wins on the road this episode, and that was the first team we've played below 500. I think the whole episode. We're finally catching a break because here's the Grizzlies on the road. We win that one. There's Bledsoe, 22 points. Yeah, that's tough for them when you got to rely on Bledsoe as your main man, right? Just a season ago, I was happy to pick him up as our reserve backup 6-minute a game point guard. Okay. So now we have the Hornets. It's another Bulls situation, right? Team slightly below 500, but fairly good at home. It's a tough but winnable game. Do we have our man back? Is Bagley back into things? Okay, he is. He is. So he's back to his 40 minutes a game. Barnes is back to his 18. Bull back to 10. So we're kind of back to the standard lineup here now. I can see Schofield's getting just 2 minutes. As Barnes is kind of picking up Schofield's minutes. But that is a much stronger lineup. So 43-25. We have guaranteed ourselves a winning record with 14 games left to play in the season. We're in a good place. Things are going well. I wanted to do Barnes's contract for next year in this episode. However, the injury to Bagley put Barnes back into the starting lineup for a while. I want his numbers to decrease a little bit, his minutes to decrease a little bit. If his production's a little bit lower, I think we can probably sign him for a little bit less. We're going to give him what he needs because I don't want to lose a player of his caliber. He's good enough to deserve a decent contract. He's a solid sixth man. But if he's in that first five, I think he's somebody who's a bit overpaid. So hopefully we can do what is necessary to get him signed on, and maybe he'll take actually a slightly less money than where he's at now if he is in that reserve role and has kind of come to terms with it. But we'll see if that's the case. So next episode, we'll definitely get him signed. I want to do it before the playoffs. That's my goal anyway. And we're definitely headed for that. And hopefully we've got home court advantage and can finally get ourselves into a good place for our first playoff run. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.